Hello everyone, this is Leonardo Siron here, and today I want to show you guys the process for making a 3D golden sword I came up with. I made the design quickly on paper and then I decided to make it 3D. In my teenage years, I loved coming up with sword designs. I made every kind of sword, from broadswords to rapiers, and many types of swords that I saw on Soul Calibur 2. I loved that game, gosh, Soul Calibur 2 was amazing. And back then I always dreamed of turning my designs into 3D models, but I didn't know 3D modeling back then. And now I can make that dream come true. This sword design I made just this week, but I intend to search up my old drawings and turn my old sword designs into new 3D models and turn that into a video series. I think that would be very interesting because I truly believe that my designs were quite inventive. I always liked weapon designs that include jewels on them, and I think that mainly it's because I was influenced by the Master Sword design from The Legend of Zelda. Both this sword design and this series have been a major influence in my creative endeavors. I was very much in love with The Legend of Zelda during my teenage years. I still love this franchise, but back then it was like almost a religion to me, you know what I mean? When teenagers like something, they tend to really like something, and I really liked The Legend of Zelda. It was one of my biggest inspirations to becoming a game designer. And yes, I make games. I have 2 games on Steam right now, the links will be in the description. Nosy Little Fly and Volley. Give them a try, they have free demos available. Of course I still can't make the games at the scale I wanted to, but I'm growing steadily towards my creative goals. Coming back to The Legend of Zelda, what I like about it is mainly the character designs. I like the visual designs of everything. I like the storyline, the way they bring the myth of the Triforce and the reincarnation cycle into the series, and how every game in the series happens many years apart from each other most of the cases, and you can still identify elements in the world pertaining to previous entries on the franchise. I think that is quite endearing, I like that. My favorite Link design is from Ocarina of Time, with A Link to the Past being a close second. My favorite Zelda design is from A Link to the Past by a big margin, followed by Skyward Sword's Zelda, and my favorite Ganondorf design is by far from Ocarina of Time. Maybe it's because I am a child of the 90s and Ocarina of Time was my first Zelda game, but overall my favorite designs in Zelda come from Ocarina of Time. And it was not only Zelda that I really liked in my teenage years, I liked everything medieval. I had my medieval phase. Mostly between my 13s and 14s. I loved swords and sorcery, and every bit of media I could find that had those elements on them, I was digging it very much. I fell in love with a movie called Lancelot because I loved the armor designs, and the narrative was very nice and the swordplay was very well choreographed. There is that old movie called Excalibur that I remember that have a very slow pacing, but I want to rewatch it today because I remember liking it very much, but I had school the next day and I had waken up very early that morning and I couldn't pay enough attention because I was sleepy. But even though I was sleepy during the movie, I remember liking it very much, so I will rewatch it very soon. There is a medieval themed anime and manga that started as light novels based on a real RPG session called Record of Lodoss War. This is a very underrated series that I love very much. I discovered the manga during my medieval frenzy as a teenager, and to this day I have a complete Lodoss War manga collection, and I want to buy the novels. And I watched the anime, of course, and I recommend it for everyone who likes anime and medieval stuff. Lodoss War is a full plate. It's got everything you want. Swords and sorcery, A battle of good against evil, cool character designs, elves, dwarves, demons, sorcerers. It's the full plate because it was, I call it a quintessential medieval fantasy anime. Because it was one of the first ones. Just like we have Tolkien's works being the premiere for modern medieval fantasy, Lodoss War was the forefront of medieval fantasy anime. You know what I mean? It was the first one that took Tolkien's inspirations and translated it well into several types of media. Even though I had that medieval phase only in recent years, and it's been quite a while since I was a teenager, only like in 2022 I started playing RPG sessions with my friends. Tabletop RPG, I mean. And I had a blast. Nowadays I'm not playing as much because the DM and his girlfriend, that was also a player, have moved into another town and another state. We live in Brazil and they went to the Rio de Janeiro state, and we are mainly still in the São Paulo state. So we only play one-shots every now and then when they come to our city. But we used to have sessions every month for a while. Now during that time I had one character and I made two other characters for the one-shots. I played a dwarf during my longest campaign and I almost died several times because I was very reckless. First campaign we were exploring a haunted mansion and I decided that I wanted to wander off alone. What a great idea. Almost died a few times because of that. Because I made a grumpy character that didn't want to go along with the others, so I thought that it made sense that he wanted to walk alone, but it was quite dangerous. But my character learned with his mistakes, as did I as a player, and with time I stopped being so reckless. There was one time where I almost died because I was doing my death saves, and I rolled a 1 on the d20, which should have meant that I was dead, but the bard of the group had given me bardic inspiration so that I could add a number to my dice. If not for that, I would have lost the character just there and then. Nowadays, my favorite game that features sword fights is Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter series. My favorite of all being Monster Hunter World. That game not only has amazing gameplay, sword-like weapons, but the armor designs, the weapon designs are all top-notch. And nowadays, even more than Zelda, I think that Monster Hunter is an artistic inspiration for me. But I still love Zelda very much because Zelda has very simple yet iconic designs. That's something that not every series can achieve. But I'm not creating, aside from a few 3D models, I'm currently not creating anything medieval-like. My current game project is Cyber Volley, which is about volleyball in the future. And I'm also working on a beat-em-up that takes place in the same time frame we are now. But I have several game projects in my pocket that I want to create very soon. And in order to be able to dedicate more time to my games and my 3D models, I need your help. And you can help me and still benefit yourself if you purchase my 3D models on Turbo Squid or CG Trader or Blender Market. All of the links will be in the description of this video. You can also play my games on Steam. Cyber Volley is not launched yet, but there's a demo there, and I appreciate feedback on it so I can make a better launch of the game. And Nosy Little Fly is already released on Steam, link will be in the description as well. You can play it today. It's a very difficult game, but if you like playing something that's so difficult that it ends up funny, that's the game for you. Thanks for watching, my friends. I hope you liked this video, the process of making this sword. More videos will come very soon. I am currently recording my process as I make a mimic monster. You know, when there is a treasure chest in a dungeon and it turns out to be a monster with teeth that bites you. That's what I'm making now. There will be a video of that real soon. Okay? Thanks again for watching. See you guys very soon. Bye bye.